Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day everybody. I am Emma Izzati binti Zulkifli from School of Management, University Science Malaysia. And today I'm going to share with you a topic called Predictive Algorithms, which is a topic under FinTech subject. So, the topic here is called Predictive Algorithms, Building Innovative Online Banking Solution. Let's see. Now, have you encountered this conversation? You and, for example, your mom. Let's say you say it's like something like this. Mom, what do you want to eat tonight? And then your mom said, I do not know. I just follow your suggestion. And then you said, okay. Do you want to eat rice? And then your mom says, no lah, rice is heavy. And then you said, how about fried noodle? Okay. And then your mom said, no, I don't want. It's high cholesterol. It's fried one. And then you ask again, pizza? And then your mom said, oh, pizza is boring. Always pizza. And then you will ask, okay, how about going to mama? And then your mom said, mama again? The mama also got boring to see your face. Okay. So what do you want, mama? And your mom said, up to you, I follow. Sounds familiar? Alright, this is the situation that we always experience and counter every day. Okay, this situation has something to do with predictive algorithm. Now, let's see another example. Before that, we have to admit that human is the most complex species on earth, that creating an accurate predictive modeling is almost impossible, right? Just imagine, or have you watched What Women Want? Can you imagine how hard it is for a person to understand a woman or a lady? However, ironically, men who hardly understand what women want, yet they are asking machine to learn us or to learn another human via algorithm. So, welcome to the new world where machine will learn about our preferences and later machine will help in making decision for us. So, why do we need predictive algorithm? Well, predictive algorithm nowadays is widely used to predict many business and organization potential needs. Right? So imagine if you could know every move your customers would make before they make them. Isn't it going to be very fantastic? Okay, for example, if you knew a customer who bought a soda would also buy a side table and side lamp, you would likely to increase marketing for side table and side lamp to this customer. This has already happening in Facebook and in social media. For example, let's say you open a browser in a Google and you start to type about, let's say, camping tent. Alright? And then once you close that browser and then let's say you open a Facebook, you will see lots of advertisements on camping tent will be popped out. Okay? Not only that they are going to show the advertisement on camping tent, but they will also feed you with some advertisements which has relevancy with the camping tent. Alright, so knowing that a customer would buy an item at certain price point but not above that would potentially be used to set the item price or choose a promotional offer. Significant influential possibilities would be at your fingertips. Just imagine, you know what people want. So predictive analytics actually allows us to know this type of information and discover similar insights. Remember what they say? If you have the data, you are the king of the world. So let's go to the jargon. The similar jargons with predictive algorithms is predictive analytics and also predictive modeling. They are the same actually. However, in lay term, you can say that it is an algorithms which can predict values. Proper definition which you can find in the internet is like predictive algorithms is a variety of statistical techniques from data mining, predictive modeling, and machine learning that analyze current and historical facts to make the predictions about future or unknown events. So, specifically for finance, what predictive algorithm could do to help? Okay, uh, I put here six things that PA can help. PA means predictive algorithm. Okay, PA can help us. All right, in finance world, the first one, it can help us in targeting more profitable customers. All right. Second one, it can help us by performing cash forecasting. You know that in finance, forecasting is very important. Number three, okay, it can help us in detecting financial risk. Number four, it helps us in demand planning. Also, predictive algorithm can help us in company performance risk and also in receivables aging. Let's see briefly one by one. The first one, how can predictive algorithm help in targeting more profitable customers? Well, they can do that actually by analyzing the customers to identify small customer segments which are highly profitable. Number two, how can PA perform cash forecasting? Well, as we know, cash flow management is a key aspect of business to plan its future cash requirements to avoid a liquidity crisis, especially on leveraging data. Leveraging data insights, financial professionals can look at trends to identify slow payers, detect and address system issues, and improve receivables management. How about detecting financial risk? Financial departments can use PA to establish baseline criteria that makes it easier to identify outliers before they can damage overall company performance. How about demand planning? Number four, PA can be used to forecast the sales over a period, determining the demand of the product. This could help reduce returns from the customer and scrapping off the product, and also increasing the profitability of the company. Number five, PA can help company performance risk management by getting a forecasted sneak preview into the financial mid-period to avoid surprises. And the last one, number six, okay, financial professionals can optimize predictive algorithms, especially in terms of receivables aging processes and collect overdue. In this case, predictive algorithm can recheck the history record. Okay? Organization which aware about the use of predictive algorithm will be benefit a lot in the future, because by using predictive analytics, an organization can predict outcomes, identify untapped opportunities, expose hidden risk, anticipate the future, and act in making quick decisions. Apart from six functions that PA can help organization in finance, there are other ways as well how PA can help the finance. Okay, the first one, in terms of statistical model. Not many of us are very fluent in deep knowledge in statistical model. So at least with PA, which has the bundle of statistical techniques in it, all right, at least the young executives can help the organization in interpreting the finance made done earlier by the predictive algorithms. Finance sector should not working in silo. So with predictive algorithm, actually, the findings from the algorithms can help finance to see the inside of customer behavior as well. So in the future, the predictive algorithm can help the executives actually to combine or to have a hybrid decision making, both from the idea from the finance mind and also the consumer and marketing mind. Okay, the third one, the machine learning. The fourth one, the patterns. Patterns is very important, so that it can help us in predicting the accuracy of the future trend. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5 is scoring. Predictive algorithm can help us in making scoring fast and quick. If let's say before this we are just using models, or we are using software which is not quite optimum for big data, for example, with predictive algorithm which can manipulate the big data, can help processing and provide you with scoring, okay, in quick time. Also, predictive algorithm can help you in displaying visualization easily, and it helps us a lot, especially when we want to present our data in higher board. Right? Predictive behavior is something related to consumer behavior as well, and of course the ultimatum of using the predictive algorithm is to assist us in making decision, accurate and factual decision. Alright, and then also the last one, predictive in algorithm is very important in terms of we communicating a factual basis and justifiable findings. Okay, what is predictive models and algorithms? Basically, it is a statistical techniques that being used by the computer, right, to process the big data, right? And there are lots of techniques depending on what objective that you want to find when you have the big data, right? For predictive models, there are lots of models, but the famous one are 5. The first one is classification model. The second one is clustering model. The third one is forecasting model. The fourth is outliers model, and number 5 is time series model. Normally, these models are used mainly by the finance researchers. And common predictive algorithms can be in terms of machine learning, can be in terms of deep learning, random forecast, GLM, gradient boosted model, GBM, k-means, and also profits. Okay, let us first see number 1, predictive algorithm model, which is classification model. So this is by far the simplest predictive analytical model, because it answers questions which provide yes and no answers, right? This model puts data in categories based on what it learns from historical data, and they can answer questions such as, for example, for a retailer, is this customer about to churn? Or for a loan provider, question like, will this loan be approved? Yes or no? Or is this applicant likely to default? Yes or no? And for an online banking provider, the classification model can answer questions such as, is this a fraudulent transaction? Alright, so these are some example of the questions that predictive algorithm can help you to answer, okay, given big data available. The second predictive algorithm model is known as clustering model, or in later it's called grouping model. So the model sorts big data into separate or nested smart groups based on similar attributes. As you can see, if you have millions of data and if you want to sort it manually, it's going to be you are going to waste a lot of time. So basically, yeah, the time invested is not efficient. So using software which allow for clustering model techniques, okay, it can quickly separate customers into similar groups based on common characteristics, and advise the strategies for each group at a larger scale. And with big data, sometimes if you do it manually, um, you might underlook you might underlook certain characteristics that can be grouped into a segment. And however, if you do using statistical analysis, if you use software and appoint clustering models to use it, you can save a lot of time and the hidden pattern can be captured. The third one, which is called forecast model, or we also know it as estimate or projecting. Okay, it is widely used, especially for finance people. The model deals in metric value prediction and estimating numeric value for new data based on learning from historical data. So this model can be applied wherever historical numerical data is available. And we are not talking about just 30 number of observation. It can be in terms of very, very big data. The amount should be very vast, can be very vast, around millions or billions of data. So for example, a SaaS company can estimate how many customers they are likely to convert within a given week. And also, a call center can predict how many support calls they will receive per hour. So this thing, if you were to calculate manually or using a not optimal software, it's going to take a lot of time and it's not going to be efficient. So the forecast model, using certain sets of statistical and empirical techniques, okay, can be applied using computer, using certain software, and with the big data, this can be utilized to find or to estimate certain figures. Okay, number 4, which is Outliers Model. Okay, this model is special because this model only focuses on finding weird data, or in economy or finance, what we call as anomaly. Okay, anomaly. We have to admit that when we get certain set of data, first we need to see the descriptive statistics first. So we need to do the trend analysis. We need to the basic to perform the basic analysis using the basic graph first. The reason is to find whether there is some spike or there is some anomaly in the data. Okay, so if the anomaly of the data, the weird point of the data is included in your regression analysis or in predictive analysis, okay, it will ruin actually your findings. It will cause your findings what we call as spurious or fake findings, right? So in order to avoid that, we actually have to take it out. And in finance and statistics, there is actually technique on how to take it out and also to move to average the data. Alright, coming back to Outliers Model, Outliers Model enable us to check which data is outliers, is weird based on our characteristics. Okay, for example, here it gives recording a spike in support calls, which could indicate a product failure that might lead to a recall, or also predicting amount of petrol needed for, going home for Eid holiday, for example. Okay, so this is Outliers Model. Okay, and the last one is Time Series Model. Time series model is a model which is widely used by economists and also by finance people. Alright, time series model comprises sequence of data points capturing time. Okay, for example, um, GDP data which you might collect from 1940s until current data. It may come in terms of annual data or in terms of weekly data, but for GDP, of course, it is not possible, or it comes in terms of monthly data, right? So if you have those data, so you can call the data as time series data. So time series model can be used to estimate time series data. So time series model uses last year of data to develop numerical metrics, and it can also develop to predict the next 3 to 6 weeks of data. Okay, so use cases for this model includes number of daily calls received for the past 3 months, sales for the past 20 quarters, or the number of patients showed up at a given hospital in the past 6 weeks. So you can actually perform regression analysis if you use time series data. And if you are keen of doing economics and also finance study, finance research, time series data is a must for you. Okay, now we go a bit on common predictive algorithm and many, let's see the differences between deep learning and machine learning, because many ask what are the differences between deep learning and machine learning. Okay, so let us see the factors first, right? So factors for data requirement. For deep learning, it requires large data. However, for machine learning, okay, um, it can be trained on lesser data. Machine can basically learn from the lesser data. In terms of accuracy, deep learning provides high accuracy. However, for machine learning, it gives lesser accuracy. In terms of training time, deep learning takes longer to train. However, machine learning takes less time to train. And hardware dependency, obviously, machine learning it can be trained using on CPU. However, for deep learning, because lots of data, lots of process need to be impart in the process, so it needs a larger storage and larger processing unit. In terms of hyperparameter tuning, machine learning has limited tuning capabilities, whereas for deep learning, it can be tuned in various different ways. Alright, in terms of the evolution, actually it started with artificial intelligence, although yes, the words in that artificial AI only hype recently or since 2000, but actually the the comments or the start of the work of AI actually started in 1950s. So it involves the engineering of making intelligent machines and programs, and then afterwards in around 1980s, we have machine learning, where it is the ability of a machine to learn without being explicitly programmed. We can already see now. And then deep learning is something that we need to see now, because it is based on learning which is based on deep neural network. This is basically the examples of artificial intelligence, and we some of us already experience the AI. The first one is unmanned drones, and then self-driving cars, also smart assistant like Siri, like Alexa, and then the spam filters or emails, it is also considered as AI. And then the robots in we know in Japan, they already have hotel industry which use robots to serve rather than using human to serve. So whether we like it or not, so it depends on our own preference. Okay, different people have different preferences. And then facial recognition is also an example of application of AI. On machine learning, so these are some of the examples. The first one is traffic prediction. they use machine learning concept, and then search engine results, the Googles, right? Also machine learning, online fraud detection, medical diagnostic, email spam filtering, image recognition, virtual personal assistant, and automatic translations. And okay, now writers, okay, they even have machine learnings and AI generator that can generate words from some of the keywords that you put in. You can find it in the Google. Okay, there are lots of pages on it. Okay. And on deep learning, these are some of the fascinating applications that use deep learning. For example, the first one, detection of growth delays in children. And then demographic prediction. This is very beneficial if you are working in housing development or housing ministry. Sound addition to silent films. This is very beneficial to especially to the hearing impaired person. Okay, news aggregation, deep dreaming. They are now venturing into deep dreaming. Colorization of black and white images. This has already been, you have seen this colorization techniques in Facebook. Okay, pixel restoration, which is very beneficial for those working in museums or historic artifacts. Automatic hand writing generation, and also self-driven cars. Okay, now let's look at random forest. So the most popular classification algorithm is called random forest, and it is capable of doing both classification and also regression analysis. And with random forest technique, so it can accurately classify large volumes of data, right? So the name random forest itself is derived from the fact that algorithm is actually a combination of decision trees. So each trees depend on the values of random vector sample independently with the same distribution for all trees in the forest. And each one is grown to the largest extent possible. Now let's look at the difference between decision tree and also random forest. Okay, between random forest and decision tree, random forest is much better when making decision. Both are decision support tools. So what is random forest? It is an assembled learning method that operates by constructing a multitude of decision trees at training time and outputting the class depending on the individual trees. Whereas for decision tree, it is a decision support tool which uses a tree-like graph or model of decisions and their possible consequences, including chance, event outcomes, resource cost, and utility. And which one gives accurate results? Random forest gives more accurate results, and comparatively, random forest is more complex than decision tree. So this is the end of today's lesson, which is predictive algorithms, and I hope after you have learned this, you already know what is predictive algorithm and how can it be used in finance sector, and also hopefully you can differentiate between the machine learning and deep learning, and also several methods and also classifications under predictive algorithm. Until we see next time. Bye bye and thank you.